Okay, good evening everyone, and welcome to our information presentation about an opportunity with a company called Forever. My name is Claire Cotton, and together with some of my business colleagues, it's my pleasure to take you through who we are as a company, our background, and most importantly, our marketplace. Just to introduce myself, as I said, my name's Claire, and for 15 years, I had a successful career at the BBC as a producer and director. And I have to say it was a career that I loved. It was one of my great friends from a program called The Close Show who introduced me to Forever. And I have to say it was the business opportunity that really opened my eyes to a different way of working. At the time, the BBC was going through lots of major cuts, particularly in the area that I specialised in, which was fashion and interiors programmes for BBC One, but also for the World Service. And the kind of hours that I worked started to get crazy. I'd be on location early in the morning, I'd be in an edit suite still at 3 o'clock the following morning, because that's what I had to do to produce the kind of programmes that I was happy with and proud of. And unfortunately that took a toll on my health, and I was actually diagnosed with a condition called ME, or chronic fatigue. And it was when my friend introduced me to our signature product, which you're going to hear about tonight, our aloe vera gel, that I started to see a difference, not just in my health, but in my energy levels. And if you know anyone that's been through something like ME, you know, at its worst, I literally couldn't get out of bed and I didn't have enough energy to walk down a flight of stairs. And I battled with it on and off for years. But through drinking the gel consistently and over time, my health improved to the point that I climbed Kilimanjaro, not once, but twice. I've also gone on to build a significant business around the world and get paid an income for that. And that's what we're going to take you through a little bit more this evening. But what I'd like to start with is just explaining a little bit about who we are. So here in the UK, we've been successfully trading for over 25 years. And we have sales of over 65 million, which we're really proud of. And we're also part of the Direct Selling Association, which is a body that means certainly as a customer you're protected, but also as a business owner, you're protected and looked after as well. And, you know, on a global scale, who are we internationally? Well, we've been going for over 40 years, and it's still a privately owned company today, founded originally in the United States. We have assets of over $1.5 billion. And actually, this was really important to me when I first looked at this as a business, because we are a cash-rich and debt-free company. And we operate in over 160 countries now, which simply means if you are interested in building a global business, you can. And we're in a growing sector, the health and wellness sector. You know, you can't open a newspaper today without reading more about health. And that is something we're really hot on, particularly improving your gut health, your energy levels, and your skin. And this is the gentleman that started the company way back when. His name is Rex Morn. And he built a company built on ethical practices. And again, that was particularly important to me. And you know, we do work with interesting people that are there to support you. And if we look at the global success of Forever, it really comes down to the way we work. You know, we are home-based business owners, and we do two things. We supply products directly to our consumer or our customers, and we show people the potential of the business opportunity if they want to look at something a little bit different for them. This way of working is sometimes known as team marketing. So, you know, what does that mean? Well, some of the benefits mean that, you know, your income can be uncapped. If you want an extra £200 a month, we'll show you how to achieve that. If you want £10,000 a month, we can show you how to achieve that as well. And it's willable, so your income doesn't stop when you do or when you are no longer on this earth. You can pass it on to your children or your favourite pets or charities. And you decide your goals. You know, this is really important. If you know you want to change something, we will help you to look at that, and our system will help you to achieve them. You can do it part-time or full-time, but the most important thing is you get full training and support to help you build the knowledge that you need. And there's some amazing extras that come with our business. And Adam is going to take you through some of those, but it does include global travel, which I certainly love, and a car program. And it's lots of fun on the way. So what do we actually do? Well, obviously we use the products ourselves. You become, if you like, your own best customer. And then we share the products and share our knowledge about the benefits from our own experience. And we will help you to develop 20 to 30 regular customers. So you're not looking to have a customer base of hundreds of people. You're simply looking for 20 to 30 to start with. And then we will help you to build a team by showing others the opportunity. And initially, you're just looking for 5 key people. And then you work our simple business cycle. In other words, you coach your team to do steps 1, 2, and 3. So what is this simple cycle? Well, initially we would contact someone. My friend simply called me, showed me some information about the business, which you can do through a simple 5-minute video or through chatting to someone on coffee or even online. Then the next step is to look at a business presentation. That's what you're looking at the moment. If it feels right for you, we'll get you started and get you into action. But the most important thing when you're looking at something like this is really, why? Why is it that you want to make some changes? What is it that you're looking for? And certainly for me, it was lifestyle. I felt like all I did was work 24/7. I didn't feel like I had enough style in my life. And some of these things on the outer wheel may have significance or resonance for you. Maybe you'd like to travel more. Maybe you've got children that you'd like to put through private education if you can. Or maybe you'd simply like a new car, some extra money, some extra money for you to do the things that you want to do. Sorry, I just had a bit of a cough there. Okay, so that's the end of my first section to give you a little bit of info about the company. What I'm going to do now is hand you over to someone who has built one of the biggest global companies in our forever world. He's massively experienced, and his name is Adam May. So over to you, Adam.
Thanks, Claire. I joined Forever 26 years ago, and prior to that I'd worked in the city. I was a broker, and I then set up my own business that went bust, and after 2.5 years I lost everything. And it was at that point that a friend invited me to look at the opportunity. Much like Claire said, a friend invited her to look at it, and what I saw then was the numbers. It was the ability to build a business where I could multiply my time, and I'd never seen anything like that before. And I was really excited because I knew the potential of it. There's some really weird noises going on. If somebody can mute themselves if you're making a noise, that would be really helpful. So then I joined Forever. I was part-time for 2 years. I managed to build a business in that time that then gave me the confidence to go full-time. And I've actually been full-time now since July 1995, which seems an awful long time ago now. So what I want to do is take you through the next stage of the presentation, which explains a little bit more about what we do and how we make money. And I'm pretty sure that if you're watching this for the first time, you'd be interested in finding out how to make money. Now, the first thing that we do is we teach everyone to use the products. And then we use the power of recommendation. Now, I'm sure you've all recommended stuff to people. I'm sure you've recommended books and films and restaurants and bands and pubs and clubs. We do it all the time. And in fact, a Roper poll fairly recently suggested that people trust recommendation by friends and family more than they do from an expert in the field. And that really works in our favor, that whole recommendation thing. We then help you find 5 key people, and we get you to duplicate that. We coach you to duplicate that. What we've got here is an illustration of what I was talking about when I first saw the business, because what we do is we can multiply our own time. So let's just say that you're the purple circle, you're the Forever business owner doing 10 hours a week, and you find a few people who maybe want to promote some products. So you've got a product promoter there who's doing 5 hours a week. You then got some business leaders, one doing 10 hours a week, one doing 20, one doing 30, and then you get a full-time business developer doing 50 hours a week. Now, any sales that are generated of our products, which we're going to talk about in a minute, from all the people in your team, you get to earn a tiny percentage on. And that's what got me excited, because I thought, wow, this is an incredible way that I could multiply my time. Now, there are 3 main areas in our business. You can either be a product promoter, where you can make £200 to £400 a month recommending the products to others. And that's a really key position for us, because most people join just to make an extra income of £200 to £400 a month. They're not looking for big money. They just want to contribute to the family budget. Maybe it's a mum who's just had kids and doesn't want to go back to work and let somebody else bring her kids up. Or it could be somebody that just wants to, save a bit more money and have a decent holiday once a year, that kind of stuff. A lot of people start there, but it doesn't mean you stop there, because you can progress. You can go for business leader. In fact, you can start at business leader if you like, and the average income is £600 to £2,000 plus a month. And then you can develop into a business developer, where the average income is £2,000 to £20,000 a month. So how do you build a successful business? Well, I need to just talk about one tiny little bit of our company jargon, which is something called a case credit. And the reason I need to talk about that is because we operate in over 150 countries, as you've heard from Claire. And what that means is that we don't just do it on a monetary value. So you might have a business here, you might have a business in, Brazil, you might have a business in South Africa, you might have a business in Australia. And of course, we don't have one currency around the world. So we have our own internal currency, which is called a case credit. And here in the UK, a case credit is worth approximately £170 at wholesale and £244 at retail. And the average profit, or the profit that can be earned on that retail profit, is £82 to £108. Now, the cornerstone of our business is a lot of people doing a little. So on the previous slide, when I was talking about all the different positions on the slide before that, the different people that were doing it, it just means that we have lots of people doing 4 case credits a month. And how do we achieve 4 case credits? We use the products, we promote the products, and we can also recruit if we want to step up and become a business builder. Now, who are the people that we supply? Who do we look for? Well, it could be literally anyone. People that like to keep fit, any friends or colleagues that we might have, people that you care about, friends and family, and of course, people at the school gates. You might have kids, and of course, you might be dropping your kids off all the time. So it can literally be anyone. I mean, I picked up a customer the other day just by chatting with them over, they were at an adjacent table with us at a restaurant, and we shared a joke about something, and then we just got chatting, and it was a retired person, and they ended up wanting my information, and so they became a customer of mine. So how do we get paid? Well, there are different positions on the plan, and the way that you progress through the plan is by the volume that you and your team achieve over a 2 consecutive calendar month period. Now, everyone starts at this level, which is the assistant supervisor level, and your retail profit is 35%. So if you sell £100 worth of product, you make 35 quid. So I think you can see that's a pretty decent hourly rate. If you think about how long it might take to sell that amount of product, I mean, that could be 2 customers buying that. So once you've got your customers, supplying them can take literally a few hours a week. So as an hourly rate, it's extremely well paid. And the typical profit is £200 to £400 a month. Supervisor is when you and your team achieve 25 case credits over a 2 consecutive calendar month period. And with 3 to 5 people in your team, you'd be generating a profit of between £300 to £500 a month. Now you can see the percentages are getting more and more complicated. If you're a numbers person, that's great. You'll see it straight away. If you're not a numbers person, don't worry. They stay. So once they never change. So as long as you just keep revisiting them, gradually they'll start to sink in. So assistant manager, this is where you and your team achieve 75 case credits over 2 consecutive calendar months. And typically with 10 to 15 people in your team, you're making around £600 to £800 a month profit. Now that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but you're talking there about maybe £7,500 to £8,000. I mean, there are people that do 2.5 day weeks that don't earn that kind of income. Similarly with the supervisor and the assistant supervisor profit. I mean, £200 a month doesn't sound like a lot, but again, it's an additional £2,500 a year. That could be a life-changing sum of money for some people. Now, the crucial position on our plan is the position of manager. And this is where everything starts to open up in terms of the incentives that I'll talk about in a moment. And a typical manager earns between £800 to £2,000 a month. And there are 2 ways to achieve manager. 120 case credits over 2 months, or 150 case credits over 3 to 4 months. And typically with 15 to 25 people in your team, you will be making that income of £800 to £2,000 a month. And your retail profit is now 48%. And what that means is that if you saw all the other people on the previous slide, then you will be earning a different percentage depending on where they have achieved on the marketing plan. Now, the crucial thing about manager is to be able to duplicate that. So if you're a manager earning 48%, the average manager turnover is around £15,000 a month. If you can just open all the slides up, Claire, that would be brilliant. So the Sarah, you recruit Sarah. She is a brilliant person. She decides that she's going to go for manager, and you then, on a £15,000 a month turnover, you'd be generating a 6% income on that for her, which would generate you £900 a month income. She helps Sam join. Sam goes for manager. You now get paid 3% on Sam's 15,000, which is 450. Sam helps Joe join. Joe goes manager. You get paid 2% on Joe's 15,000, which is £300 a month. Meaning from that manager leg, as we call it, your royalty income would be around £1,650 a month. But with the previous slide's income from what we call your non-manager business, your income would be between £2,500 and £3,500 a month. That's with one manager leg. Just imagine if you had 5 lines of managers like that. Now, our job is to help you to develop managers locally, nationally, and globally. As Claire said, we're operating in over 150 countries. So whether you have contacts abroad or not, you will quickly find your business spreads internationally, because if you sponsor somebody in this country who has an international contact, then they would have a business there, but then so would you, because they are still part of your team. So how do we get paid? Well, a senior manager is somebody who has helped 2 people to achieve the manager position. And typically a senior manager earns £30,000 a year. A soaring manager is where you've helped 5 people personally achieve the manager position. That's 60,000. A sapphire manager is 9. Let's just stop there for a moment, because I just want to ask you all a question. If it took you 9 years to find 9 good people, that's 1 manager a year, so that you're generating an income of £120,000 a year, would that be worth it? If it took you 5 years to find 5 good people, so you're a soaring manager and you're making 60,000, would that be worth it? Or even a senior manager, if you found 2 good people over 2 years, so your income was £30,000 a year, would that be worth it? And it doesn't just stop at that. You diamond sapphire manager, this is where you've helped 17, that's £200,000 a year. Diamond manager, which is the next one, is where you've helped 25 people. Typical income there is £350,000. And you can then go on and be a double diamond or a triple diamond, or even what we call a centurion diamond. We also have an incentive program, which is our global profit share scheme we call Chairman's Bonus. And typically the checks range from a few $1,000s up to over $1 million globally. And here in the UK, you can see some of our the latest checks. In fact, no, our latest checks were earlier this year, but you can see some of the checks that were paid out. Pretty impressive, considering that this is paid on top of your monthly income. So this is like getting a bonus from the company every year. You have to qualify for it, but it's available for any manager to qualify for. We also have global travel incentives. So each year there are 2 destinations. So I think this year we've got Thailand for the global rally. And we were in Sweden, in Stockholm for the rally, for our global rally. But in the last few years, we've been to places like Hawaii, we've been to South Africa, we've been to Singapore, we've been to Dallas. So we literally travel the world, all paid for by the company, all with spending money. As you can see on the right-hand bubble, you get paid somewhere between $500 and $3,000 in spending money. In fact, the company gives you a prepaid credit card when you turn up. Let's see if I've got one here. Yeah. So this was a prepaid credit card that I got when I turned up in Stockholm this year. And there was getting on for $2,500 on it. So that's just a bonus that they give you on top of the travel. And we also have something called Forever to Drive, which is effectively our company car plan. And what it means is that once you qualify for it, you can earn up to £6,300 a year, which you can put towards the car of your choice. I mean, I change my car every 3 years because I have this payment. So I get a brand new car every 3 years. But you can spend it on whatever you want. You don't have to spend it on a car. You can put it towards school fees or paying off the mortgage or, developing your property, but, whatever you want to do. Now, it's great that you've heard from me because I've been in the business for so long, but obviously you want to hear from people who maybe have been in the business a little bit less and who, want to give their experiences of what the business has meant to them. So can I just first of all ask Angie Moore if she would like to come on and tell us a little bit about herself, her name, her background. Well, obviously her name's Angie Moore, her background, and what difference Forever's made to her life.
Brilliant. Thanks, Adam. As Adam said, my name is Angie Moore. I'm a Forever Living business owner, which I work alongside my full-time job as a personal trainer and class instructor. After having my first child, I realized that going back to work at the gym full-time wouldn't give me the time I needed with my baby, and it wasn't going to be cost-effective for me to do so. I decided to then start working for myself as a personal trainer, but starting out meant not enough income immediately coming in. I was then introduced to Forever by a friend. I looked into the business, joined, and I haven't looked back since. Forever has given me the freedom I need to be there for my family and the additional income to be able to top up the income I get from my personal training business as well. I've never seen myself as a salesperson, although as a personal trainer, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm selling myself on a daily basis in that industry. As a family, we use a variety of the products, from the aloe drinking gel, which we all take on a daily basis, to the skincare, vitamins, and the sports range, and especially the multi-purpose detergent. I've never felt like I sell the products. I feel that the products actually sell themselves. I recommend the products to people I talk to, which has led to a healthy client base who love the products as much as we do as a family. I'm now looking into expanding my team both here in the UK and South Africa to share what Forever has given us as a family. Thanks.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Angie. And can I ask Jane to come on, please? Jane Weston.
Hi there. Thank you very much. Yeah. Hi, my background. I actually run a landscaping business with my husband, George. I also train a couple of point-to-point racehorses, and we have a 20-acre small holding, so we're pretty much self-sufficient. When I was shown the business, I really liked the look of it, but I wasn't sure whether I had the time to do it. However, what I've found is that just putting small pockets of time to the business, I'm now an assistant manager. So the extra income has been very welcome. Although I've had no retail experience, the health and wealth benefits that both myself and George have had, and actually my animals as well, so I use the products on the goats and the cows and my horses, I've found it really easy to retail. It's just because I'm so passionate, because I've seen what it's done for us. So not only the health and wealth benefits that I've actually had from Forever, it's just been incredible that the company has given us so much support, and I've made some incredibly amazing friends that have just boost and help you every step of the way.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Jane. And I think I am now handing over to Saranna Jordan, who is going to take us through the products.
Thank you, Adam. Yes, good evening, everybody. So my name is Saranna Jordan. My background, a bit similar to Jane, is in the horse racing industry. I spent many years as a professional work rider. I'm still involved in the industry as a lecturer. But 9 years ago now, I started my Forever business around my racing career, and it has just grown beyond. Like Adam said, I started for that small £200 to £400 a month, and it's grown beyond my wildest dreams, really. But a business would be nothing without the product, so it gives me great pleasure to take you through the next few slides. So you heard earlier from Claire that the marketplace in the UK, we were turning over 65 million last year. But are we in the right marketplace at this moment in time? If you look at this slide, this is what some of the sectors that we are working in are worth in the UK right now. So as you can see, we've got masses of scope and masses of potential. So why Forever products? You know, there are aloe vera products out there on the market. So why would you pick Forever Living aloe vera products? We are the world's #1 grower and producer of aloe vera based products. And our stabilization process is very unique. That process has been patented, which gives us superior quality products. The great thing about Forever is it controls every stage of the process. We're what's known as a vertically integrated company. And basically that just means Forever own all of the process stages. We use natural fertilizer to look after the land. We have always been GM free and organic. We've always grown the aloe organically. We have a highly qualified board of professionals to advise us. But the biggest thing for me, having not come from a retail background, was that we have a 60-day money-back guarantee. You can see some of our accreditations, and one of the big ones there as well was, for me, was that we don't test on animals. But we can work with everybody from every faith and background. So the best way to get started is to order your Start Your Journey pack. And this is an evaluation product pack for you to use the products. So you actually, when you recommend them, it will be from a place of passion and integrity, because you understand how they work and what they do. There's, as Adam said earlier, there's nothing like word of mouth. It also means you make money immediately. You access that 35% profit margin or discount if you're buying your own products, and you get a literature pack with everything, all the information that you need to get started, and that is just short of £200. You've seen some of the incomes that Adam has talked about. So, you know, some people ask at this stage, will it work for me? Well, it will if you take it seriously. Like any new venture, it needs time and effort. And by time, we don't mean hours and hours. We mean give it some time, 6, 12, 18 months to actually see your business really get off the ground. You need to attend the relevant training and be coachable and work with the person that introduces you. You need to be self-motivated. It's not like a job. You don't clock in and clock out. This is really up to you. So on that note, you need to be willing to think big, dream big, and set some big goals, which again may seem a little alien to start with. It certainly was to me. But we can help you with that, because you need to know where you're going in this business and what it is you really want to achieve. You need to commit to having regular customers and building your team, and be prepared to tell everyone what you're doing, and have a great attitude. You know, there's nothing like spending time with people that have a great attitude. So from what you've seen so far, it might be like me. When I saw this business, I was ready to get started. I couldn't wait to order my pack and get registered with a planning meeting and get going. It might be that you're a maybe. If you're a maybe, please go back to the person that introduced you onto this, invited you onto this webinar, and get your questions answered. If it's a no, thank you very much for taking the time to look, but don't walk past the wonderful products. They really are amazing, and they make all the difference. Thank you very much for giving up your time this evening to look at this business, and I hope you make the right decision for you.